And when the world needed him the most, he returned to deliver more knowledge and wisdom upon the noobs of MVM. In the previous lesson, you've been mostly taught to respect your elders and use your eyes and ears to figure out what to do and what to avoid doing. God bless. In today's class though, we will develop on those points and, as promised, we will have a wee chat about Scout and what he represents to an NVM team. So what is Scout? Scout is the heart of the team. Actually no, Scout is just some obnoxious teenager who runs really fast and is blessed with very specific powers revolving around money when he happens to be fighting against hordes of robots, possibly due to his circumcised ancestry. He's equipped with a magnet that attracts credits to his person, making money collection for the team that much easier. On top of that, each shekel he collects grants him a vigorous boost of 25 hit points of health, no matter the size of the dough. Bear in mind that Scout is the only class that has these two abilities, making him rather efficient in his breadwinning role for the team, so to speak. I mean, I've told you before and I'll say it again, money is a crutch, but it certainly feels nice to shoot that laser gun really fast, and the young'uns such as yourself could really use some crit resistance upgrades from time to time. All of these aspects of the class make Scout an essential member of the team, the other two members being Engineer and Demo Man. And maybe, depending on the team's layout, arguably Medic, which is also an important role to assume. But we'll find out more about those some other time, because right now, it's scouting time, baby. Besides Scout's capitalist enthusiasm, what really makes him a responsible class pick is the support role he plays for the team, which now brings us to the weapon choices. Your typical loadout for a Scout is almost always gonna be Soda Popper for its mobility and damage output bonuses, Mad Milk as your secondary, and the Fan of War or Sandman if you're feeling rich and a bit introverted. Your primary is what's gonna keep you alive, but your secondary and melee is what your team is gonna lean on so hard you'll feel like you're doing trust drops. As a Scout, you will hear the expression milking and fanning, and believe me, it's nothing sexual. This simply means that you are expected to milk a crowd of robots so your team can leech health off them, and fan giant robots at a time, marking them for mini crit damage, thus boosting your team's DPS and overall damage output by quickly dispatching of the threat they might pose. That's how you support your team. Another way you can provide help is by keeping an eye out for any stragglers. Robots that get past your team's defenses, looking to snatch up the bomb and cap it when no one's looking, cringy as they are. Besides worrying about the bomb carriers, taking care of spies, snipers and anti-bots is certainly appreciated. Earlier we were joking about mid-shields, but Scout can also be one. In fact, Scout has the potential of turning into a tank, Blitzkrieg incarnate, with upwards of 800 HP and movement like a speed demon, only for but a moment. He can face tank a detonation from a sentry buster, which now brings me to the upgrades. What should you buy as the waves go by? For a Scout it's always good to start with some mobility, movement speed and jump height, as well as some minimal resistances to begin. After each you're gonna wanna max them out before starting to upgrade your scattergun, for example. I forgot to mention this, but seeing as currency takes about 30 seconds to burn, and you being a Scout, your job is to collect all the shekels. So there's a third mechanic, exclusive to this class, which is, upon death, you will respawn in under 3 seconds, so you can promptly get back into the battlefield and save yourself from the embarrassing explanation of why you missed cash, because your weak resistances and sluggish legs resulted either in your death or that awkward feeling of seeing a pile of credits go up in flames right before you. So with all this, we've determined that Scout is a support class, and anyone who says otherwise, or even suggests it's a damage class, please send me his address. I'll be sure to pimp slap them into submission. People who suggest this, that as a Scout you should be dealing upwards of 80k damage a mission, are the same people who glitch out the Soda Popper so that they're no longer shooting from a scattergun, more like an AA-12. and they typically complement that with a critical. So yeah, a DPS build typical of high 2 ADHD selfish pricks. But Team Fortress 2 is all about team play, especially MVN. So man the fuck up and help your team. Now don't get me wrong, if you are queued up with friends, have at it. But when you play with randoms, you stick to the basics, your duty. Leave the offense to the rest of your team. Give them a chance to prove themselves. And if you manage to do all of the above and still deal damage, say around 50k per match, without glitching, then I consider you to be a phenomenal player. So to resume, when your scout focus on collecting money and supporting your team by milking and fanning, getting rid of pesky robots, looking out for the bomb, oh and, so silly of me, one more thing I forgot to mention. Slowing down super scouts with your milk falls within your obligations as well. And if you need a tip for money grabbing, my advice is to always keep moving. Notice where the robots are coming from and from where your teammates are playing. Sometimes those absent-minded idiots tend to leave money where they shouldn't. And always keep an eye at the bottom left part of your HUD, which shows your credit balance and the money that is left to be picked up. If that number is not a 0, you keep moving, and if that number turns from green to black, it means you've missed. But do not fret. What do I keep saying over and over? Money is a crutch, so who cares if you missed like 3 or 5? Who gives a damn? Just do your best, and you'll get used to it.
Nope.